I don't think this is a girl who just fried her brain on acid and doesn't know which way is up.
Right.
She's, the alien thing is obviously very bizarre, but
Hmm.
it's also very fascinating to me, and I feel like we could actually learn quite a bit from each other as people.
Well, it's also kind of a safe, place to talk too, because it gives a little cushion, to talk about something that she can at least talk about it. Whether she truly believes in it or not. I mean, you talk with her. Do you believe she's really into the weeds on this? That she's dug deep into it and has evidence and experiences and all that stuff.
So I'm not 100% convinced yet, but I think it's more likely than not that she believes what she's saying, and
Mm-hmm.
she talks about specific races and how they interfered with humanity. Like, she had a really interesting take on the Bible and how the Alpha Draconians bastardized it and mixed it, which is why the Old Testament God is so evil and why there's so many contradictions and fucked up. You know, I
Yeah,
don't
who
know.
messed
It's
up? Who was it? Who messed up with it?
so she refers a lot to what are called the Draconians,
Okay.
and she initially was very afraid of them, but she tries not view them as evil, and they feed off fear apparently. So, but I asked her, are you racist against any aliens in particular?
Yeah.
And I don't know. She seems to be adjusting to it, but I mean, she's also just at least according to her, just an unfiltered personality. She's very like mellow when you talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she's not like Alex Jones going off a mile a minute.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
fact, I actually, well, I told her I'm super into it and it's cool. So, you know, it could just be kind of her temperament in general. I don't know, but I
Does
don't
she,
know.
does she believe in Area 51?
I haven't asked her about that.
That'd be a good question.
It would be a good question. The very first thing I asked her was if you're in communication with the aliens, how do I get on the winning side?
Yeah.
And she's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Have you never seen an alien movie?" And she's like, "Yeah, it doesn't work like that."
Yeah.
And
That's, that's ironic.
she
Because
said, you know, she isn't some superpower girl. She says, with channeling and meditation and practice or whatever, other people can learn this stuff. So maybe I'll learn some Jedi mind tricks from her.
well, I'd be interested in the meditation piece of it. At least to tell her that you've been interested in it. You've done some meditation. Are there either any links that she could send to you or anyone she would recommend, and now give you a better sense as to who she is and what she is. And I can even give you some feedback on that. You'll know.
Yeah. I
And
um I remember asking her about her meditations and how she does it. I think I was just too stoned to remember the response. But I did send her. I sent her the Wim Hof thing, the 10-minute breathing that I do every day. She
yep,
really dug that. Um, she's also the kind of person I can send Jordan Peterson's biblical lecture series to and not feel like a weird, condescending asshole.
right.
So, she's got a brain. I haven't seen any particular games coming from her, but she also has, um, it doesn't mean I will accept anything right off the bat, but I do recognize I expect, challenges with any relationship period.
Absolutely.
I don't want perfect to be the enemy of good, but at the same time, I the good thing about these apps is that it's helping me I think recognize my own values, so my love don't come cheap.
Yep.
you know,
Well, I mean, it's helping with the whole social piece, isn't it?
I would say so because Yeah, I think honestly, I feel like I could even just do a few more. I mean, part of the point was just to build some confidence talking with strangers and whatever, and
Yeah, absolutely.
talking to girls, and does my humor come off weird, or does it actually, does it slap sometimes? Like, I think I've developed a new standard response for like, what do you do for work? Like,
Hmm.
like one of them asked me that, and I just texted back, Navy SEAL slash astronaut.
Ha! Okay.
And then I sent another text a second later saying, and by that I mean paralegal.
Uh-huh.
And she found that really funny. So, I'm learning little tricks, I guess. I'll just say Bitcoin billionaire or something silly.
Right. Right. But it does help you develop your social skills as far
I
as talking with people.
I would say so, yeah. And
Yeah.
also just being more comfortable, because I used to be someone who was just so um, like, the idea of giving a compliment to a girl, like just saying hey beautiful or whatever, was very I was actually scared about that kind of thing, because is that creepy, am I going to get negative reactions from that or whatever. And you know as I'm older and wiser now, I'm like, yeah, you want to do it within context and reason, but more likely than not, I don't think a girl minds being called pretty.
No, not at all. But I think what you're doing is testing the waters too. And this is a very difficult era, really, in terms of male, female, or male, male, female, female to female, the whole relationship thing. I mean, because of the political correctness and all that stuff, and Me Too. So it's like a different ball game.
Also, just how
Plus,
beta cuck men are becoming, and
yeah.
I mean, oh god, Bob, it's so obnoxious. I really only see it on Tinder.
Mhm.
But there are just so many, like, they put their gender pronouns first and foremost, and it's like they, she. I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
if you're
Yeah.
trans, I get it. I told you that's fine. But so many of these girls are just obviously like early 20s, like females just trying to. I don't know if it's a virtue signal thing or like it's just trendy. I don't know, but there's just so much, you know, if you don't support BLM, you're part of the problem. And there's just so much open hostility towards conservatives that I'm like, God, if I want to look for a chick, I feel like I need to go south or Midwest.
Yeah. Right.
Because conservative women are generally pretty fucking hot. And
Yeah.
a lot of them are pretty kick ass and down to earth. But good luck finding those in New England.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's the worst part of the country for that, basically.
Except
And the
maybe
whole
California.
he, she, it thing, is, it's a mind blower.
Yeah, I love how many girls fucking openly identify as communist too. And,
Really?
well, it hasn't been a ton, but like, let me put it this way: I've seen way more open commies or open trans or open whatever than I have seen open conservatives by
Really?
quite a
Love to
margin.
know how they view themselves. What is it that makes them a communist? Where are they coming from? Is it just to be cool? Are they just using the words? Do they believe in a certain philosophy?
Yeah, so I haven't been able to. I mean, part of me wants to keep the dating apps around to see if I can psyop
Yeah.
people. I haven't quite gone there yet, but I mean, this is going to be my at least initial approach. To any ladies listening who identify as communist, and all of these chicks are in the first half of their 20s, of course.
Sure.
And I just want to say, ladies, do you like shopping? Do you like clothes? Do you want some fucking bureaucrat designing, manufacturing, and deciding when you get those clothes? You,
Right.
because if you like going out shopping for clothes, you're not a communist. Sorry.
Right. And are you comfortable wearing all olive green? basically.
Yeah, and are you going to worship the glorious leader?
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
I think a lot of it just comes from ignorance and, um, because, I mean, our country is so goddamn allergic to Hitler, which is great, but we are just totally tone deaf and, like, just oblivious when it comes to Stalin and Mao.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think you're getting a lot of deep thinkers at all when they say, "Oh yeah, we're with these communists. We support BLM and all that." I
Yeah,
think it's just to be cool.
yeah.
It's the side to be on right now.
Yeah,
You know,
and I think, I think part of it is just, I think there's a spectrum of good and bad faith. I think some people really believe the shit and really, you know, think they're promoting something good and good for them. And I haven't done anything like this yet, but I kind of want to almost put in my prompt or like in my bios, conversation starter. And I thought of phrasing it one of two ways, one really contentious and one that could actually maybe more effective. The contentious one is BLM doesn't give a fuck about black lives. Changed my mind.
right? Yeah.
But I think if I were to try something like that, I would actually, uh, I think it was Tim Pool who said, no, I can't remember who said it, but no, it was Dave Smith, who said, the best way to argue from someone if you're arguing with a right winger is to argue with them from the right, and
Yeah.
with the leftists. So instead of saying, Black Lives Matters is a terrorist organization, I could put something like, Black Lives Matter does not go far enough to protect and enhance black lives.
There you go.
You're essentially saying the same thing but a very different tone, and you're like, nah, dude, they're not doing enough. It's not that I don't care about black lives, I just don't think this organization does.
Right. Somehow I didn't think, and maybe I'm wrong, that this many people you would connect with on dating apps would even be that political in general.
You would think, and I think that's, if I were to guess, I would say that's probably a more recent phenomenon.
That they're
um,
political.
Political dating and stuff, because after Trump there was just so many normies who never gave a fuck about politics and then suddenly
Right.
thought they cared. So I think
Yeah.
that's part of it, and I don't know if like those kind of political trends are true in the rest of the country, because I'm only looking at profiles usually within like a 30-mile radius.
Right. If you extended that outside of the hub of liberalism, so to speak, you'd find a whole different trend.
Probably,
But I
yeah.
just thought that these young girls, in their early 20s or whatever, wouldn't even mention anything about politics. They'd be more into sort of the pedantic or pedestrian, what do you like? What kinds of things do you like? What music you listen to? That sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? The thing is, they just really believe it's really just gone to the point where the country's so divided, where it's like, I guess that's just their sorting mechanism, because they just say explicitly, if you voted for Trump, swipe left, get the fuck away from me.
Right,
But
right.
I kind of want to sneak that up on him.
Yeah.
Like I want to, be like, oh, I voted for Hillary in 2016. Oh, nice. How about 2020? Trump.
Yeah.
And see how they react, because the fact that I have voted for those two very different, diametrically opposed people, I think it's just been a journey for me, and just because I voted for Trump doesn't mean I love and endorse everything he did.
Exactly.
you know
Do
but
you come when you begin the initiate the conversation? Do you come from a political view? Usually, do you start with something like that?
no, I really am staying away from talking too much about politics unless the other person brings it up, which so far no one really has.
Okay.
I've talked about it with 11, because once we're on the phone and I kind of got a sense of where she was at politically, I feel totally comfortable criticizing anything, whatever. She thinks the Democrats are full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So as I said before, she's a little red pilled, so I don't have to worry about scaring her away with that kind of shit. But and everyone else so far, I've just been keeping it on the back burner.
Okay. Now tell me again with the red pills. I know I saw it in that documentary, but I don't remember exactly what it meant. The red, because they kept mentioning the red pill. I mean, that was throughout the whole documentary. They kept showing the red pill.
Yeah. So in this context, I mean it in the sense that they're just kind of politically aware that, you know, you just can't trust everything you fucking see on TV news. And
Okay.
there are a lot of bad actors, and I don't know, basically just some kind of awakeness or awareness to the bullshit game that's going on.
Okay. So if you swallow the pill, then you go along with it.
Well,
Or
that's
the
the
red, or the red pill, gives you a defense against it.
right. It comes from the Matrix, where Neo can take the blue pill and everything goes back to normal, or he takes the
Got
red
it.
pill and realizes how fucked up everything is.
Okay.
And there are people like the QAnoners who I think go a smidge overboard with the whole red pill thing because, you know, that term can definitely be bastardized and, you know, misappropriated, but it is what it is.
Yep. I mean, a lot of this feels like an alternate reality to me. The whole thing.
I think we're really heading for that. I mean, just did you see anything about the Columbus shooting?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That was just unbelievable.
It's heartbreaking stuff, but, you know, I mean, Malcolm X said the media has the power to make the innocent look guilty and the guilty look innocent, and we see it
Yeah.
so much with this racial police stuff. It's like that dude in Columbus fucking saved a black woman's life who was about to be stabbed, and all
Yeah.
the left can say is, well, knife fights are normal. Teenagers do this shit all the time. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is wrong with you?
It's beyond belief.
Like
It
you
is
hate
beyond
you
belief.
hate police so much that you're just like, yeah, let all the black teenagers just fucking murder each other because I
Right.
care about black lives.
Yep.
You know?
That's the alternate reality, that I see, that I just can't believe people are buying into.
I can believe it because I used to buy into it, you know?
Yeah.
Just
Like the revisionist history of the United States to try to teach in schools. I mean, that is incredible.
yeah, that's what really scares me and part of why I know I'm on the coding path and that's probably going to be my most likely career, but there's part of me that fucking wants to be a teacher because someone's got to talk straight with these kids, but
Yep.
I don't know about that. Plus, I might just get thrown out anyway, be one of those professors who end up on the news as some kind of,
Right, exactly. You would, yeah.
homophobe or whatever,
Yeah.
buzzword they want to use.
Yeah, I like a term that Gutfeld used about, to talking about he's referring to the way, like, it's like we're living on a college campus, the whole thing is like,
Oh, yeah.
these professors are all, now they're these speakers of everything. Their status has been elevated to some kind of level that, that none of us ever dreamed they would reach or, be preaching from. Their pulpit has become this liberal ideology stuff that they're pumping from the grade schools all the way up through, all through college. And people are acting like they're on a college campus.
Yeah, it's just really scary and it's really pathetic and hilarious and man, I don't know what to do about it except to try to talk to people and reach out and I don't know because I remember one of my agenda items. I'm going to take a hard pivot. Let me just pause this tape real quick
Okay.
so I can start a new segment.